recently I had my passport. I had to get it renewed. I sent it back. Comes back gender marker M. Screws everything up. Mm. So there's a form in there. If they made a mistake, you can correct it. So I fill out all the proper forms. I'm not calling anybody. I'm not calling the president. You know, I got his personal cell number. I'm not calling anybody. I'm going to see if I can fix this myself. Because it's not just about me. It's about all people in this situation. You know? So I even sent a hard copy of my birth certificate. Caitlin Marie Jenner, gender, sex, female. I did everything. And they sent it back M. They didn't change it at all.
I'm going to quote trans advocate Janetta Johnson, who said this in 2015. Jenner is a rich white. She can pay for everything she needs, but I think she now needs to put some of that money back into the transgender community, as she has taken a lot. All these years, we have been abused and battered, yet she has used none of her power to help the community and bring about change. And so, you know, Caitlyn Jenner, girl, cry me a river. Let me play my little violin for you. Transgender, changing the marker on the passports is a executive order that he signed on day one. On day one. So if you think that he didn't know what he was doing, if you think he wasn't fulfilling a campaign promise, because as you say, he absolutely exploited this issue in order to get people to the polls. But I think there's a special place in hell for people who only care about themselves and don't care about the effect on others. If she's saying that this is a safety issue, traveling internationally with the wrong marker on her passport, imagine what the safety issue is for people who are not celebrities, who don't have access to the White House, and who don't have money.
Yeah, there's a special place in hell, all right, for you, Ana Navarro, and the rest of those repulsive hags that sit on Channel 7 on The View every day, whether it's Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar or Sonny Hostin. There is a special place in hell for all of you, not for my friend Caitlyn Jenner. So we're going to talk to Stephen A. Smith coming up about what the Jets and Giants did last night, and he's got his own take on what President Trump is doing in Iran. We're going to talk to Joe Tacopina, the great defense attorney, my friend Scott Lebedo. I do want to send a shout-out to my buddy Abraham Hamra. He's actually representing my other dear friend, Johnny Daniels. Johnny lives in Israel, but of course he was born in England, and he's working on his immigration status. And AB is a great immigration attorney, and I'm going to try to help these guys out with the State Department here in the United States. But regardless, AB is a terrific guy, and he just said, he confirmed, hey, it is true what KT just said. The Lebanese people and the Israeli people, they like each other. There are no issues. The issue is the proxy group funded by Iran, which is called Hezbollah. But getting back to Caitlyn Jenner, I've got probably, next to Caitlyn, maybe even including Caitlyn, the most popular conservative transgender in my studios right now. Her name is Blaire White. And the first thing I'm going to say is, Blaire, when you walked in, there is zero, and I mean zero evidence you were ever a boy. Zero.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't even know what to say to that, but thank you.
How many years ago did you do this transition?
It was about a decade. I was 20.
So you're 30 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Early 30s.
And how old were you when you came to the realization that you're the wrong sex in the wrong body?
Well, I think I'm in the right body. I don't think God necessarily makes mistakes. I just think that I have my own, autonomy. I always knew I was different at a young age, but I'm also very against children transitioning. That's something I've gotten a lot of blowback for in my career. And so I'm thankful that I was, a legal adult and had a sound mind to make those decisions.
So you made that decision?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, your parents didn't do that?
Yeah, and even a decade ago when I started, the trans kid thing was not really a topic. Like, it's a new thing. It's, in my opinion, very wrong. And I think it's caused a lot of backlash also against trans people.
Wrong. I can't believe, Blaire, no disrespect to members of your community, wrong is an understatement. I can't believe we're actually having this discussion. That moms and dads, can't be the ones, or the kid for that matter, to make up their own mind. That's cities and states and the federal government. They make these decisions, and I don't care if it's transgender surgery, if it's vaccines. I think parental choice and freedoms. And I was just at a rally last night for a guy that I'm endorsing over Cory Booker in New Jersey. His name is Alex Sedan. He's all about these freedoms. I can't believe we're even having these discussions. It's crazy.
Yeah, same. And, I'm born and raised in California. I lived there my whole life. It's known as a quote unquote,
It's a terrible place.
Thank you. It's known as a sanctuary state legally under Gavin Newsom for trans kids and immigrants. They're sanctuary for everybody. And so even if one parent disagrees with a child transitioning, the other parent can legally do it to the child. And but what's funny is you can't even go into a tanning bed until you're 18 in California. But you can get a sex change as a child. It's very demented.
It is demented.
Yeah.
How many sexes are there? How many genders are there? How many genders are there?
I mean, there's 2.
There's 2.
Yeah.
You sure? Because a lot of members of your community and a lot of members of the press out there, especially in that horrible place that you live, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love parts of California. Yeah. They tell me there's like 7 or 8. I don't know. Chuck Todd laughed at me one time when I said there was 2. So there's 2.
Yeah, that was news to male and female. That was news to me too. It all happened very, very quick. The politicization of the topic and the changing of the goalpost of what it means to be trans, what it means to be a man or a woman. Yeah. And I was never on board with it. I was told I had to be on board with it, which was news to me. I just made a personal choice for my own life. And then I found out it came with all these political talking points you had to be on board with, all these things you had to believe, when really I just believe in personal freedom. And I've always leaned, conservative. I come from, my mother's side of the family is liberal. My dad is conservative. And I naturally gravitated that way, and that's always how I've been.
That's a real mixed marriage right there.
Yeah.
Adam, when did you transition exactly? You put Adam's mic on, please. Look at.
Is it on?
There you go. Yeah.
So what's crazy about this, the mind control they put over people is almost the same as COVID, right? You had to say a certain narrative from the media, from the government. Otherwise, they went after you. So it's a strong personality like Blaire that is able to push back and say no. My principles, what's right is what's right, and what's wrong is wrong. And we got to give Blaire credit for that because culture moved that way so strong. Oh. And she said, she gave him the big middle finger.
Yeah.
And that's... So,
well, you heard Ana Navarro there going after President Trump pretty hard. And look, I know the president very well. We're friends. I'm proud to say that. I love the guy. And all of these criticism that come from the left, how he hates gays and he hates transgenders and he hates blacks. He basically hates everybody, unless you make money and you're Jewish, which is ridiculous. But I'm going to ask you, being that you're in that community, how do you feel about the president of the United States?
I haven't seen any hate out of the president towards gay people, trans people. When I look at the legislation that's been enacted, I still find it way more sensible than anything on the left. You know what I mean? Trans women and women's sports, that's another issue.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I also think that that's wrong. I think that it's unfair. Yeah, I do.
What are you crazy? Are you trying to get yourself killed? You're actually a sane person. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. I believe in fairness. I believe, I'm not a huge sports fan in general. I'm not a women's sports fan.
Right.
But also at the same time, you should be able to recognize right from wrong. You know what I mean? So these are the topics that I've gotten a lot of, hate from my own community. I'm definitely not well loved in the community necessarily, although a lot of them tend to, behind closed doors say they agree with me. Of course they do,
right. But you can go to bed at night knowing you're on the right side of the issues. And
that's what I care about.
Right.
The Trump administration is so inclusive. The New York Times, maybe 3-4 months ago, did a big profile. It was called Trump's Big Gay Government. If they went about and did that, think about it. There must be a lot of gays throughout his government.
Well, listen, Rick Rennell is a guy that's worked alongside the president for many years. My dear friend, my favorite homosexual of all. He's in Brussels right now, Bill White. He's been around the president for a long time.
Great guy.
They're all great guys, and the president has no issue. They got big jobs in his administration. It's complete nonsense. So you are not for men competing in women's sports. You readily admit there are only 2 sexes. What else out there that is sane that I believe in, that you believe in, that even ostracizes you even more inside your own community?
I mean, well, probably a lot, like just in general, like I said, I've always leaned right. I'm a capitalist. That's something you're also not allowed to be anymore.
Not in this city.
No, especially under you guys' new mayor, which I'm sorry for that one.
Right. Yeah. Take it easy. You got Karen Bass. Not exactly great either, but I know.
Right. We lived through all the COVID years, being anti-vaccine, anti-lockdown, all of that stuff. Even though now it's slowly, even like a lot of Democrats are able to kind of be like, okay, maybe we went a little far during those years. I've always just stood up for limited government not telling you what to do with your body. Of course, I believe in bodily autonomy because I utilize bodily autonomy. And so that also includes if I don't want to do something, I don't want to do
So, but you don't have any remorse from doing this. I mean, you're happy you did it. Okay.
No, when I look at the people these days, there are a lot of people detransitioning and who have like regret.
Yeah.
And those tend to be the ones who did it very, very young as children. Because obviously when you make a choice like that, it's not really a choice you're making. Right.
When we were at CPAC recently, the floods of people. Detransition is going back to what they originally were running up to Blaire and thanking her.
They were.
For what she
That's
stands for.
Feel good, right? It's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, that's another, not a lot of people stand up for those individuals. And so I just like to provide on my podcast and on my YouTube channel just a full 360 perspective on the issue. Whereas if you're just hearing from shows like The View, you're going to get just one side.
Yeah, I forget. I had a girl in here not long ago. God, she was in here twice. She's great. Young black lady. Was a big Jewish star. Come on. She's a very famous transgender, too. Also, big conservative voice and short hair. Blonde, actually.
Conservative?
Yes.
And trans?
Trans. Been in the studio twice.
Oh.
What is her name? Bellamy. That's right. Bellamy Bellucci, something like that. You know who she is?
I don't.
Look her up. She's exactly like you.
Okay.
Same exact.
We should probably be friends then.
Yeah, she's a New Yorker, and you should be friends because she says the same things that you say. So, Adam, later on tonight, I'm supposed to be honored again. I do it a lot. I love Krisha Lenzo. She's terrific, and all the folks at the Metropolitan Club on the Upper East Side, they've got their annual gala tonight. Emily Austin will be there. Randy Fine, I love him down in Florida. Rudy Giuliani, some big names, and they're going to honor your friend Blaire White later on
Blaire
tonight.
White's coming. We also have Nick Shirley, that great investigative reporter, came in. We're going to give him an investigative journalist award. That kid is amazing. What he's uncovering.
He blew the doors off Minnesota. He was the guy.
He made Tampon Tim retire. I think just him alone.
He really did. No.
We thought Trump could do it with his verbal jab, but Nick did it alone with his investigation.
That's great.
And then tomorrow we're going to the alternative White House Correspondents' Dinner with some events. And for the first time in 10 years, Trump is showing up.
Yes.
He used to show up when he was a celebrity.
Right, but not as president. 0 for 5.
So the cool kid is showing up to the nerd prom. Let's see how they treat him.
Well, there are no comedians this year.
No.
But they have some mentalists, I guess. That's going to be the entertainment. What is this now? It's called an alternative?
We're doing an alternative dinner. A couple of these White House correspondents, the White House Correspondents Association, a lot of people can be in there, but they refused to give a guy by the name of John Fredericks a table. He actually paid. They gave him the money back, and they said, we'll give you one ticket. He says, I can't go. I need my wife to go. They wouldn't give him a second ticket. And he's a White House correspondent reporter. They don't want to let the alternative media in. They're still, they want their little cabal, I guess, to control it. So we created another little dinner at the Press Association. And we're going to celebrate
in DC.
Oh, so we're going to celebrate there.
Oh, cool. How many people you expect to go to that?
A couple hundred.
Oh, that's great.
It's the first one, so we'll see how it goes. But let's see how they treat Trump. That's the real question.
I think they'll be fine.
Will they stand up? Will they protest? Will they cry?
Oh, yeah, you'll have some of that.
What's Kalshi saying? Will they cry, the press?
Probably all of that.
Yeah.
All of that. Where can people find your podcast and your channel and all that cool stuff?
I'm on YouTube, X, Instagram, all the socials, Spotify, and you can just Google me and find me.
And then you have a show once a week. You do a couple of shows a week. How often are you on the podcast?
It's kind of just whenever I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you deal mostly with the transgender issues, or is it a pretty comprehensive
That's a big
show?
topic. I'm definitely obviously known for that. But I cover just politics in general, social issues. I just did a video about the literary crisis in America, how no one can read anymore, which is really scary. 45 million adults in America are functionally illiterate.
Jesus. I got 2 on my own show. Now, there are 3 guys. You figure out who the 2 guys I'm talking about. It's great to meet you, and I appreciate all that you do. It takes a lot of courage, Thank you. So thank you for being a voice for us. And you're an important voice, so thank you for doing all that. And be careful, okay? And you got big Adam Weiss here as your bodyguard. Adam's a tough kid. He used to be a professional boxer. Did you know that?
Really?
No.
A little bit when I was young.
I had her, though. You see?
For a second.
Adam, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So you're going to D.C. tomorrow, And then you go back to California on Sunday, right?
To Miami, actually.
Oh, you're going to Miami?
Yeah, we're going to Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, look at you. Living the life. God bless you. Have fun.
Thank you.
We'll take a short break. That was Blaire White and Adam Weiss. Blaire's a real hero.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?